Guaymas this afternoon, did some shopping at Walmart, and now I'm out at Tecolote because Bahia Concepcion is too far to drive before sundown. So I'll hang out here and then hit the road first thing tomorrow, and maybe even meet up with the boat tomorrow. I see from the tracker that they moved to Punta Palpito this afternoon, or well, actually this morning while I was flying. So I left the boat 4 days ago, flew from Loreto to Tijuana and crossed the border on the CBX, and I had to have some legal documents that had to be signed in the United States, and that was the reason I left the boat. I could have done it in January, but because of the spike in the COVID cases, I decided to wait until they were in decline. So unfortunately, it interrupted my portion of the cruise, but it's also an opportunity for me to come get the van, as we are going to be shifting our base of operations over to the other side of the sea, back to our original home base in Guaymas. So what do you think of the hair? My sisters had fun with me, and I had fun with my sisters, although I can't say that their hair looks like mine.
While my plane winged its way from Loreto to Tijuana, the remainder of the crew enjoyed scenic Loreto, resting briefly in front of the mother church of all the mission churches in both Californias. While in Loreto, they also stocked up on produce and supplies. The next day, at the fuel dock in Puerto Escondido,
I'm recording the fish cleaning station. We came into the fuel dock. The hull cleaning. The hull cleaning. The fish are cleaning the hull.
Oh, they are?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool.
Leaving Escondido.
this year, we observed a higher occupancy at the former Forniture Marina than on our stopover 3 years ago, which was shortly after private management took over, making improvements and charging higher prices. After leaving the shelter of Puerto Escondido and heading north toward the night's planned anchorage at Isla Coronado, certain unnamed members of the crew felt the ill effects of the rising wind. An early morning move north to San Juanico to wait out more north wind.
We woke up this morning to the National Geographic cruise ship in San Juanico Bay.
And a visit to a local farm where Christy purchased eggs. After a layover of 2 nights and a slight abatement in the north wind, La Brisa moved to Punta Pulpito, which was not documented in video, but which they described as rolly. As for me, I found Tecolote more crowded than it had been in January, and I missed the sense of connectedness I had felt with the sea and land on our previous stay. Armed with papaya and a cup of hot coffee, I hit the road.
So leaving Tecolote, it's almost 7:30, and it just feels distinctly weird. I've always had Blondie with me when I've traveled alone in the van, so I'm missing that dog.
And leaving the beach area, there was the sad sight of homeless dogs. Backtracking to La Paz, I headed north on Highway 1, passing through Ciudad Constitucion. A quick check of the tracker revealed La Brisa on the move toward Bahia Concepcion. Passing over the Sierra de la Giganta Mountains, just south of Puerto Escondido, I marveled It had been just a few days ago that I had looked at these mountains from the deck of La Brisa. Another check of the tracker showed the boat was making good time. Meanwhile,
So whales just before entering Concepcion. These are further away, but again just before entering Concepcion. There is one. See him in the surface there?
In?
No, the whale. Right between us and the fishing boat.
I was looking to see what the fin was.
Oh, about halfway in between us and the fishing boat he was coming up 2-3 times. No, I don't see him. There he is. See him?
Yeah. Down there. Oh.
when the southern part of Bahia Concepcion hove into view, I was struck with a sudden worry. What if they decided to anchor in another anchorage, and without cellular service, how would I know? I needn't have worried. By the time I parked the van at Playa Santispac, there was a boat in the distance that looked a lot like La Brisa heading in. To my surprise, there was the hail, "La Brisa!" Lee had radioed ahead and asked Windsong to keep an eye out for me. What a fantastic reunion that followed, with so many friendships from the yard being renewed. The following day, we visited Santa Rosalia, but were rushed as Lee and John were planning to leave in the evening to cross to Guaymas before a week of forecasted northers set in. Christy, Blondie, and I would continue with the van to Guaymas.
Looking back to where Christy and Trudy would be. Flat, calm, no waves, no wind. Had the Genoa out for a while earlier this evening. Nothing now. Sun coming up, no wind, no waves, no events. On the way across to Guaymas.
In the van leaving Santispac, and as soon as we could receive cell signal, we stopped to check La Brisa's progress during the night, and were surprised to note Lee and John were within sight of the mainland. By noon, La Brisa was in a slip at Furniture. Our drive of 700 kilometers to San Felipe was also uneventful, and it was there we stopped for the night. The next day, we traveled north on the excellent Highway 5 and enjoyed the stunning scenery. At Ejido Durango, we turned northeast, traveling through farmland, and I felt delight when crossing into Sonora, what I consider my home state in Mexico. Turning east and then southeast, the farmland dropped behind, and the sands of the fearsome Desierto de Altar encroached. Nearing Puerto Peñasco, we were appalled to see high-rise resorts. Puerto Peñasco, an hour from the Arizona border, and also safe from hurricanes, has been gringofied with the name Rocky Point, and serves as Arizona's beach town. Our noon stop was Cabrales Boatyard, a yard that has been in business for 70 years. Upon talking with Salvador Cabrales, son of the founder and now manager, both Christy and I were impressed with him and the yard. However, we did not like Puerto Peñasco and its party atmosphere. Additionally, in the northern portion of the sea, there is little shelter, and one would need to plan accordingly. I have heard the wind sigh through pine forests, but on our early afternoon stop, it was the first time I have ever heard the wind blowing through the thorns of cacti. Unfortunately, my camera did not pick up the sound very well. It was just after 8 p.m. when we reached the boat at Furniture. For the day, we had traveled almost 1,000 kilometers, or approximately 600 miles, with the total mileage from La Paz to Guaymas of more than 2,000 kilometers, or 1,200 miles. For more than 3 weeks, La Brisa had constantly been on the move, trying to fit in as many stops as possible and to get John and Christy back to Guaymas before the 1st of March, as they will be leaving shortly to return to Alaska. What will we do next? Who knows? But maybe by the next episode we will know. So until then,